Hello, friends. It's me, Dan, here to draw. And for the record, I do wash my hands. There's so much ink. Just can't get it all off. Need some of that abrasive sand wash goop stuff that strips away all the skin and gets that ink out of from underneath my fingernails. Well, today's prompt is ghost. And shocking to many of you, I would say that there's a high likelihood of some sort of ghost or spectral phenomenon in the world that exists. I haven't seen it personally, but there's something, whether that is the actual spirit of a person who has passed on, or the memory imprinted on that place, or perhaps the memory of that place of the people that were once there. I don't know what it is. I don't know if anyone can say for certain. But we all know there's a lot of speculation. There are many documentaries and books and podcasts and probably YouTube channels all about it. But what I think most of us are haunted by ourselves and our memories and the things we may or may not have done to ourselves and to others. Weird turn of phrases or cutting someone off in traffic, being a jerk to someone who may or may not have deserved it. That last bad breakup you had, or the fight with your wife, or ignoring your children to make a YouTube video. Just kidding. They're in bed right now. They're asleep. Because I wouldn't want to be haunted by that later in life, knowing I've missed a lot. Because I have missed a lot. There were periods of time when I traveled a lot for work and I didn't see my kids nearly enough. Or even when I was in LA working 10 hours a day with a 45-minute commute each way. Stuff like that happens, and you don't see your kids that often. And you can miss a lot. It was necessary, but you always wonder if there's something else you could have done. Nowadays, it seems like that work-life balance is a little more front and center in the news. But anyway, that's what I'm thinking about when it's coming to ghosts and hauntings. And of course, we all have that giant ghost. That's something that keeps us up at night, that we dwell on. Real or imagined, slights against other people. I had a conversation with someone the other day, and we were talking about work experience, and I had no idea how much experience this person had when it came to a job that I was trying to hire them for. And I found out later, and and like, I had no idea. I'm glad you didn't take the job because you're way overqualified. And so years later, which was a couple months ago, I talked to them and I said, I had no idea. Did not know that about you. Good to know now, and I'm glad you didn't take that job. not a crushing haunting or anything like that, but and it's something I thought about. It's like I felt I would have loved to have hired this person, but I also knew that it really wouldn't have been worth their time. And they had completely forgotten about it anyways. And the story is they forgot. They had no idea. But, it's just for them it was a minor thing, and they moved on. For me, it's something I thought about because I liked that person, and then I found out how much I'd have to pay them, and glad it didn't work out. And they're doing really well right now, so it all worked out years later. This drawing, as you can see, I had a real intent of a person sitting alone at a table. But then the ghost just kind of filled in on their own randomly without much intent. So wherever they could fit in. And because they are ghosts and semi-translucent, I just started drawing them over each other, building up just different characters. I need to find some sort of reservoir to put my ink while I dip, because I don't want to dip into the whole bottle because it doesn't necessarily reach. The caps of these bottles is working pretty well, but there's got to be something slightly more efficient. Maybe I'll look for it after this video and let you know in the next one. But just a lot of ghosts, huh? It's funny how the thing in our head throws so many interesting little thoughts and memories when you least expect them sometimes. You just wonder what the mind is thinking about when you're trying to get something done. Driving to work or drawing a picture or watching a YouTube video. So all the ghosts here are color, drawn with different blue and green inks, except for the human who's alive and at the table. That was done with a black ink. And then the window is also here and done with black ink. And then I think at the very end I may have added a one ghost with the Moon Man pen with black carbon ink, just to throw the whole metaphor out the window. Yep, there he is. I've been enjoying adding the charcoal as a shading element. Not quite as intense as ink, or even pencil. It's not. It's very light and subtle. And I've only done a few spots. I considered going through the entire drawing and filling in everywhere that wasn't a ghost or the person. But just the edges, I guess. So as we come and draw to a close, think about what's haunting you these days. We've all had so much time to be alone these last year and a half or so. Some of us, if we're fortunate enough, we're trapped with someone. But even then, you tend to spend a lot of time in your head. I have this last year and a half. Hopefully I'm getting better at life. And hopefully you are too. Just keep going. It's not talent that keeps us around, it's the hard work. So I'll keep going, and you keep going. And I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.